It's Madden NFL 24, and it'll be Foye Oluokun. He's been one of the best blitzers in the NFL this season and is among the league leader in sacks. It's the Jags and the Ravens, and it comes your way next.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Today we hit double digits, week 10, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time with
the Jags defense out to go to work here. Sensational a week ago in the victory. And the one we'll be watching is this man at corner.
And he had a great game a week ago. Just about everybody on this unit did in the shutout. It's going to be a tough performance to replicate, but this group, they believe they're up to the challenge.
Starting the drive with Algier. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Andre Cisco there on the stop. You look at this Jaguar defense. They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
In today's NFL, when you talk about goals for defenses, and you think that maybe you'd like to hold them under 14 points or so, we think our offense can usually get 17 to 20, so that's a reasonable goal. But when you hold a team under 100 yards of total offense, you're going to win 99 times out of 100. And the one game you lose, you'll know who to blame.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Algier. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Taking a glance here at the numbers last week for Algier. 20 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown.
When a winning streak stretches this far, you start to wonder if a team is truly unstoppable. And here's a guy who's been very much the legs that have helped drive this team to wins week after week. And even when teams have keyed on him and tried to slow him down, he's still gotten the job done enough to avoid a loss. Talking with him in pregame, though, he thinks that this week could be his biggest week yet.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. To throw is Jackson. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Antonio Johnson. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
The Jags defense back on the field for this next possession. They've got the 3-0 advantage here as this next drive starts. 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
That was a good forceful run, and it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try and get him down with arm tackles, it usually doesn't work very well. And we saw in that play, he'll run right through those attempted plays.
Here's Algier again on 2nd down. Well, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Algier with another carry. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Josh Allen, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Well, last game he had 2 sacks, got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
The Jacksonville defense back onto the field. They've had the upper hand so far this first half of play, working with a good lead already as they look to defend this first down. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. On second down, here's Jackson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
The Jags defense back on the field for this next possession. And they'll begin by trying to defend a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Oh, he's ridiculous.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, and that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Sam Darnold has a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Daniel Jones, responsible for the lone touchdown in the game thus far, as he's thrown a touchdown pass.
The Jacksonville defense back onto the field. They'll play with a lead here to begin this third quarter. Looking for another solid half of football to carry them to victory. Second half starts with a run by Gibson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Jackson now. Dumps this one off to Algier. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Well, a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
The Jags defense back on the field for this next possession. They've got the upper hand in terms of field position as this drive starts inside the offense's 10-yard line.
Don't worry.
Option play. Here's Algier. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not a lot of running room there. Not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Brought down around the 16 or 17. Showing some tough running there. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They go play action with Jackson. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
The Jacksonville defense back onto the field. They've done a really nice job of slowing the tempo of this offense, and as a result, they've got a comfortable third quarter lead as this next drive begins 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
It's a gain of 3 on what will be the final play of this third quarter. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. The Jags defense back on the field for this next possession. They pitched the shutout here into the 4th quarter. Been sensational. The question, can they finish it off? They'll need to come up with another stop here. Jackson on 1st down. To the right side, into the hands of Flowers. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7, past the 30 to the 32. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That's thrown underneath to Algier, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll give to Algier out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Throwing is Jackson. Throw caught by Flowers. The result of 1st down is a quick slant gets them 14. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot. Not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. To throw again is Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. So this will be a win for Jacksonville, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Jaguars, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season.
And they'll be on the road next week as they travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers.